Good morning, student. Today we have learned here the last part of this topic, and few hormones are there. We know that we have studied the largest gland, that is the thyroid gland, the smallest gland, that is the pituitary gland, and we have also seen the pancreas is a mixed gland. The adrenal gland is an important gland which has a complex part, and such a type of hormones which we have studied. Now in this topic, the last part is of different small organs. They act as a temporary endocrine gland. Their main function is different, but they act as an endocrine gland for certain time. Such a type of organs which we have to study today. The first organ which we have studied here, which we have already studied in 11th standard, but now its endocrine function is included in this topic, and therefore we have studied here the kidney as an endocrine gland. So the kidney we have seen in the last year that kidney secrete the renin, angiotensin, then the erythropoietin is the second hormone, and the third hormone is calcitriol. The renin we have seen studied in the 11th standard. We have to study here about the second hormone that is called as the erythropoietin. Erythropoietin, though it is produced by kidney, it acts on the bone marrow. And we know that what is function of bone marrow? The bone marrow particularly here produces the WBC and RBC. So erythrocyte means the RBC. So erythropoietin act on bone marrow and it stimulates the production of RBC. When the RBC get produced, what happens? In certain time we are going at a high altitude. What happens at the high altitude? There is a deficiency of oxygen because of less trees are there, and due to the less trees there is a less oxygen, and the body is suffering from hypoxia. Here the body is suffering from hypoxia, means the less or deficiency of oxygen. Due to the deficiency of oxygen, here the body try to obtain more and more oxygen, and that's why the RBC required, and therefore the erythropoietin is secreted by the kidney, and that act on the bone marrow and stimulate the production of RBC for the transport of oxygen. So this is the function. The third hormone is calcitriol. We know that though the vitamin D is produced in the skin, in the sunlight particularly, but it is kept in kidneys, it is get activated in the kidney, and therefore the activation is done by the calcitriol. So certain person they used such a type of erythropoietin for blood doping. Many athletes they take the injections of erythropoietin while they perform in the games, or because it increases the RBC oxygen transport, and therefore ultimately they increase the ability to run. So therefore they are used as a blood doping. The second organ which is called as a heart. We know that heart is the chief organ of the circulatory system. In circulatory system, what happens in certain times, the blood pressure rises more. When the blood pressure increased, then automatically blood volume also increased. When the blood volume increased, then the venous return is also increased. And we know that venous return is always towards the right auricle by superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. So due to the flow of venous return blood, a peptide hormone is secreted by atrial wall. Due to the stretching of atrial wall, it secretes a peptide hormone, and that peptide hormone is called as ANF, adrenatriuretic factor or adrenatriuretic hormone. So such hormone, they causes the vasodilation first of all. And due to the vasodilation, the blood vessels get increase their diameter, and therefore the raised BP get lowered. Then along with that, it also stimulates the excretion of sodium and water. And due to the excretion of sodium, the blood volume also get lowered and the BP becomes normal. It means that the adrenatriuretic hormone works opposite to another system that is called as a RAS system, which we have studied in excretion and osmoregulation. Renin, aldosterone, angiotensin system. So such a type of renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system, it yet opposed, it acts as a vasoconstrictor, whereas ANF acts as a vasodilator. So to bring the BP normal, such a type of herd, they secrete the adrenatriuretic hormone. The third one is called as the skeleton. The skeleton, certain cells also secrete hormone osteocalcin. This osteocalcin is secreted by some cells called as the osteocytes. And such a type of osteocytes, they regulate the blood sugar level. So blood sugar level is secreted, regulated by osteocalcin. Another structure that is called as the adipose tissue, they also secrete an important peptide hormone that is called as a leptin. So this leptin is secreted by certain fat cells called as the adipocytes. The adipocytes secrete hormone leptin, which is called as a satiety hormone. We know that what is meant by satiety. Satiety means the feeling, the stomach, the emotions or the feeling of the feeling completely stomach, that is called as a satiety. So here what happens, this satiety hormone is secreted by adipocytes. But what happens in obese person, there is certain deficiency of such a type of leptin. We have also seen in 11th standard the stomach secrete the hormone ghrelin. This ghrelin is the hormone which is stimulated by empty stomach. And due to the empty stomach, what happens? It gives the message to the hypothalamus and hunger is to be conquered. And when we eat the food, then what happens? It will be one time, at that time the stomach get full up, and after filling up stomach, the satiety occurs, and hence this is done by the leptin hormone. So therefore leptin hormone is called as a satiety hormone. So these are the hormones secreted by different other organs, small organs. Now, the hormones secreted by gastrointestinal tract. Our elementary canal, they consist of many scattered endocrine cells. So these scattered endocrine cells, they secrete four different hormones. The first one is the gastrin. Now this gastrin hormone, first of all invented and secreted by scattered endocrine cells called as G cells. So now these G cells are stimulated by distension of stomach. When stomach gets fulfilled with the food material, it stimulate G cells to secrete the gastrin. Now this gastrin hormone increase the motility because the stomach is full of food material, and therefore for the chewing or churning of food material is motility required, and that increases by gastrin hormone. So increases the motility of the stomach. Second one, it also stimulates the parietal or oxyntic cells to secrete the HCl, to kill the germs which enter into the food material. So it has an immune function. And thirdly, it also stimulates to secrete the gastric juice. So such a type of gastrin is an first important hormone. Second important hormone is called as CCK. In short, it is called as a CCK. Actually, it is called as a cholecystokinin. Secreted by upper part of the intestine, and that is called as a duodenum. Now remember that all the lower hormones, they are secreted by duodenum. So this is the peptide hormone, and which is secreted just like we know that there is a stomach just like this, and this stomach has the duodenum just like this. So what happens here, when the food material comes here, here is the chyme, when comes the chyme here, when it is rich in fat, then it secretes the cholecystokinin. So just like this, it is a chyme. When the food material is rich in fat, it secretes the cholecystokinin, and when it is rich in acid, it secretes the secretin. Remember that. So this cholecystokinin act on gallbladder and stimulate gallbladder to contract for the secretion of bile juice, whereas it also stimulate the pancreas to secrete the pancreatic juice. It also act as enterogastron. So this enterogastron is actually property of the hormone which decreases the motility of the stomach. So when stomach get empty, because the food material is now enter into the duodenum, and that's why when stomach get empty, it is necessary to decrease the motility of stomach, and that will be done by the CCK hormone, cholecystokinin hormone. Hence it is called as a enterogastron. So such a type of important hormone, it is secreted when giant food is rich in fat. So that is called as a CCK. Second one is called as the secretin. The secretin is when secreted when giant is rich in acid. So this is also secreted by duodenum, and this duodenum secretin which stimulate pancreas to secrete bicarbonate ions, that is the pancreatic juice. It neutralizes the acid and make the environment alkaline. It also decreases the activity of stomach, motility of stomach. Hence, it is also called as a enterogastron. All these hormones, they stimulate to receive or to secrete certain. But here, two hormones which decreases actually activity. That is called as a GIP and motility. GIP is a gastric inhibitory peptide hormone which is secreted by duodenum, and when chyme contain more fats, then such a type of GIP is secreted, and it also inhibits the gastric secretion, and it also acts as an enterogastron, means it decreases the motility of stomach. And the last part is actually called as the motiline. It is secreted by lung cells of Peyer's patches. Peyer's patches are nothing but the actually lymphoid tissue which are present in the form of patches in intestine, and for the protection, actually immunity. So such a type of Peyer's patches, they contain certain scattered ion cells and they secrete motiline hormone. This motiline hormone actually stimulate and regulate the peristaltic movement of intestine. So such a type of four hormone, the gastrin, the cholecystokinin, the secretin, and gastric inhibitory peptide along with motiline. All these hormones are secreted by the gastrointestinal tract or intestine, and therefore it is called as the hormones of gastrointestinal tract. So today we have studied the hormones secreted by kidney, hormones secreted by heart, hormones secreted by skeleton, hormones secreted by adipose tissue, hormones secreted by stomach, hormones of gastrointestinal tract. So in this all topic, near about all hormones we have covered. So such a type of hormones, they are very important to bring about the lifelong activity in the human being. So these are all about the endocrine system and endocrine gland. In the next period, we have study for the new topic, that is origin and evolution of